Lance, I understand we have some poll questions. I'll let you take it over.
First question is, have you ever had a litigation plan that exceeded $10,000 in litigation expenses, but you never got it approved by the SBA?
Uh-oh. I assume that's a bad thing, Lance.
It's not an impossible thing to work around, but it is a pretty challenging thing.
Okay.
And Joseph, I can't see the results, so if you can share them with me.
We have 100% no on.
Hey, you guys are great. You know, one of the challenges that I ran into this week, and as you know from being in the office hour sessions, I like to talk about things that I'm working on at the moment, is I had a bank that had about $20,000 in litigation expenses, and the litigation plan had never been prepared and submitted to the SBA. And all is not lost, although you have developed a significant challenge. First of all, I want to reemphasize, if any litigation is going to take place on an SBA loan, prepare a litigation plan. If the litigation is anticipated to be contested, it needs to be submitted to SBA for approval, irregardless of the litigation budget size. And if the litigation budget size is anticipated to be $10,000 or more, it needs to be approved by SBA. I've got to be honest with you, in many cases I've had litigation budgets presented by attorneys that were $7,000 or $8,000, and I went back to them and I said, you know, we need to add some more to this because I want to go ahead and get it approved, not so you can charge me an extra couple $1,000s, but just so I can get it approved. That creates a situation where if there's any unanticipated expenses, you got it covered. So make sure and get your litigation plans prepared. If there's any litigation involved in the liquidation of an SBA loan, and get them approved when they're required.
We have the second poll question.
Have you ever had a sale of collateral to the guarantor or an associate of the guarantor during an SBA loan liquidation? And this particular question also came up this week because we had foreclosed on a property and we had placed that property, we bought the property back in the foreclosure sale at value.
Sorry.
Okay.
I think that was Bob's phone.
We bought the property back at the net recoverable value amount. In the foreclosure sale, we put it on the market with a commercial realtor, and guess who made an offer on the property? The person that we foreclosed the property from. So that was an immediate no for me. If you do have a sale of collateral to a former guarantor or guarantor on the loan, or a family member of a guarantor, or an associate of a guarantor, that has to be approved by SBA, and my best practices in that area is just avoid it. Do not sell the property. In this particular case, I said, no, we're not going to accept that offer. We're going to accept the best offer outside of that.
And the poll results are 100% no again. So
good. Yeah.
Let's go to the next one.
Yeah, and my only comment on that, Lance, is you also have the right to say no. You don't have to go hand in hand to SBA. You can simply say, hey, we're not going to allow that, guys. That's our bank policy.
You know, the next poll question is one where I was just curious. You know, we all know that when an SBA loan is underwritten, very frequently SBA presents in the authorization a requirement for life insurance. So the question is, have you ever collected on a life insurance policy that was required on an SBA loan? And my comments there, I was working on a liquidation case last week, and it looked like a lost cause. And please don't take this wrong when I say this, but one of the guarantors died during the liquidation process, and we were able to fully recover on the loan with the proceeds from the life insurance policy.
And the results are 75% yes and 25 no. So 75 is collected on a life insurance policy.
So I think what that certainly brings into light is one of the common mistakes SBA loan liquidators make is not paying attention to the life insurance requirement that's in the authorization. And when you get an SBA loan that's in liquidation frequently, those borrowers neglect to pay the premiums on those life insurance policies. And I think you have to make a prudent lending decision. SBA is not going to require you to force place the insurance, but if you look at it and think it's prudent to continue the premiums, if they're reasonable, you may want to do that, because I've had my first opportunity to have a life insurance policy to pay off the SBA loan.
And the fourth poll question.
Have you ever gotten a bill from SBA on the improper payment of an SBA guarantee? I think this comes to light. There's a great emphasis by the Office of Inspector General at SBA to make sure that SBA is paying the guarantees appropriately and correctly. The challenge with this is you as a prudent lender do your due diligence and you present your purchase demand kit and you get paid by SBA and you think, hey, it's time to move on, wrap up the loan and charge it off, and then SBA comes back to you with a bill. It's the reason this liquidation course is so important. If you liquidate properly, you should not, and you present a good, thorough, complete purchase demand kit, you shouldn't get an improper payment back. So again, it's important as SBA loan liquidators to really understand the importance of putting together a complete, quality purchase demand kit when you submit it for the SBA guarantee payment.
And the results are 100% no on that last poll.
Good, good.
So we can move on to the Week 8 recap.
Well, we covered a lot of different special liquidation areas. We did talk about improper payments. We talked about some of the documentation requirements. We covered liquidation actions that require SBA approval, and then we just had a general wrap-up session where we talked about SBA lending in general. I think probably the most important areas are the liquidation actions that require approval, those lender documentation requirements. That particular section of this week's important to make sure you're meeting all those requirements. And just understanding that once SBA pays the guarantee, there is always the possibility that they may have made a mistake and they may come back and send you a bill for an improper payment. Now, the most common improper payment is SBA incorrectly calculates the 120 days interest that they allow you on a guarantee purchase. And most of the improper payment bills that I've seen are relatively small, and they center around the incorrect calculation of that. But liquidation loan officer at SBA may have made a significant mistake in terms of a potential repair, and it could be possible for a larger improper payment bill. But again, I don't want to overemphasize a good quality purchase demand kit with all the documentation in there. You're going to get paid, and you shouldn't have an improper payment.
And Lance, I can say this, you can't, but I can. If you do face that situation, talk to your attorney. You don't have to roll over on that. It's doubtful that SBA is going to litigate against you. They may come after you on your ratings, but if they come back on an improper payment 3 years down the line, I would not be very willing to immediately sit down and write a check.
Bob, thank you for bringing that up, because that is exactly right. If you do get a bill on an improper payment, don't just cut a check and send it back. Object to the improper payment amount, because there was a circumstance where I was working with a bank that had gotten paid on the guarantee. They got a bill for $80,000 because SBA indicated a mistake was made. We objected to the bill amount. We provided additional documentation. There was an improper payment amount, but it was only $10,000 versus $80,000.
Yeah, I think what I'm giving you code is they're willing to settle these for
Absolutely
cents on the dollar. So don't lose any sleep over it immediately. Well, very good. Joseph, how does someone get a plaque?
Oh, we can. Do you want to do the email questions first?
Let me go ahead and read.
Sorry.
Yeah, let's do the. I
go
have the questions up right now, so we'll do that at the end.
Go ahead.
All right. One of you emailed in, you have some junior liens that are still in force on a junior residential real estate mortgage. This loan has been presented for purchase demand. I'm not reading it verbatim. I'm going to tell you what I see. But it's been presented for purchase demand. SBA's paid the guarantee. All collateral has been liquidated with the exception of a couple of junior residential real estate mortgages, and the loan has been referred to Treasury. The question is, what happens when the first real estate mortgage holder forecloses and you get served a foreclosure complaint? And in that particular instance, you've got a short period of time to respond, and there is a potential for some recovery. Also, second part of the question, there are some legal fees that might be associated with defending the foreclosure and recovering the equity. Can they submit a supplemental CPC expense tab? And then the final part is, who do we contact at Treasury if there's a existing junior residential real estate mortgage or a junior real estate mortgage that's retained on the property? And my response is, once a loan is referred to Treasury, you're not servicing the loan anymore. Treasury's in charge of all aspects of servicing and liquidation. Any recoveries or expenses that occur as a part of Treasury's effort to recover will be shared on a pro rata basis with the lender. For instance, if there's a recovery of $100,000 and SBA's already paid the guarantee, the money's going to go back to SBA, and SBA is going to turn around and send you your 25% share representing the unguaranteed portion. The only responsibility that you as an SBA lender have when a Treasury referral is made, when you receive that notification of the foreclosure, you need to immediately provide that information to Treasury. The Treasury is going to handle all litigation, including foreclosure. And as a result of that, all those litigation costs will be handled and incurred by Treasury, not by you as an SBA lender. So in this particular circumstance, purchase demand kit's been presented, guarantee's been paid, wrap-up's been done, Treasury referral has occurred, and suddenly the bank gets notice that these junior residential real estate mortgages that you didn't think you had any equity in, the first mortgage holder is foreclosing. What do? You immediately send that notification to the supervisory loan specialist at the Treasury Offset Division, and you can see the, excuse me, I've got allergies. I mowed the yard yesterday. At Birmingham, TOPS at SBA.gov, or you can call 800-736-6048, extension 7705, to contact Treasury. So that's how you're going to handle that if that occurs.
Great. Thanks, Lance. The final exam has been posted. As you know, most of you have finished this on the call. So I have your shipping address, but if you haven't contacted me, I just need a shipping address, and I will send the certification. It's a nice plaque, and we should get that out by early next week.
No, actually, we won't, because we need to get Lance's signature on it. So
late next week.
Yeah, late. We'll get them out next week, but it'll be late. We'll be here. So.
Hey guys, as you remember, I'm coming out to record, so it might be more convenient to sign those on the 6th and then you can ship them out.
Okay, if that's okay with everybody on the call, we will ship them out on the 6th. So,
Guys,
for money. Very good.
I just want to make a
congratulations. Let me go first, and I'll let you finish up. Congratulations, Lance. I sat through this entire course as you were recording it. It's a lot of great information. Please give us your feedback. And Lance, what are your final comments?
Well, I just wanted to thank everybody for participating, and as Bob has told you throughout the office hour session, I am never disappointed at the opportunity to answer one of your questions even down the road after you've completed the course. So as you strive to be the best SBA loan liquidator that you can be, if you run into something you're not sure about, don't hesitate to email me at lance@colemanreport.com, and I'll be happy to answer your questions, and hope to see you guys on some of the other certification courses that we do. Joseph, did you have a slide for those, or should I just tell them?
We are beginning closer training on July 7th, and August 4th will be for servicing.
August the 4th, we'll be rolling out the SBA certification course for regular servicing on your SBA loans.
Well, very good.
Thank you very much,
congratulations
guys.
All.
We are clear of questions, so thank you. Yeah, we're clear.
Everyone have a nice weekend. Thank you very much.